My thought for this week is the power of prayer. Prayer plus feeling times belief equals magic. I love how spirit works. I got up this morning and decided that I would make this video on the power of prayer today. And it's April the 17th, 2020. And I knew I was going to be talking about an incident that was huge in my life when I was a young boy. I didn't realize until I looked it up that the incident I'm talking about happened 50 years ago to the very day. I'm talking about Apollo 13. You see, when I was a boy, I remember that Apollo 13 was stuck up in space and there was no hope to get them back. And so what did the world do? We prayed. I remember praying in school, holding a clear intending that those astronauts would find their way home. Now, people say it's a miracle because they didn't have what they needed to get home. If you've ever watched the movie, and it's a fantastic movie, it was all about trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. And of course, it was all of the people at Mission Control that came up with ideas. And there were so many people on the planet holding space, believing, praying on these astronauts making their way home. What the arrival of Apollo 13 back to Earth taught me back in 1970 is the power of prayer works, especially when it's a collective prayer, when so many beings get together and hold a clear intending, magic happens. And what I do know is that there are ingredients that will help that prayer to come to fruition. One of them is having the belief and the clear intending that it's going to happen. Let me give you an example of how we can fall out of that belief. And I'm going to do it through one of my passions, which is football. And some of you will know this game as soccer. Well, although I live in Scotland and I'm very proud of my Scottish ancestry, I grew up half English, half Scottish in England. And as a boy, I became a supporter of the England national team. And when I was 3 years old, we won the World Cup. I don't remember it. And since then, we have won nothing. Well, I want to talk to you about penalty shootouts. You see, if you don't know much about football, when it comes to penalty shootouts, over the course of history, England haven't done very well. Now let's look at Germany. Germany have done incredibly well. And something happens when we get to a football penalty shootout when England and Germany are involved. The English supporters generally go, oh no, it's a penalty shootout. Heartache again. And the Germans go, yes, we will win. And typically, they do. In fact, England have won only a couple of penalty shootouts since I've been watching football. One quite recently in the last World Cup. And yet there is a collective sigh of, my goodness, it's a penalty shootout. And there's some belief there that we're going to miss. We're going to come tragically close yet again. Whereas Germany as a nation hold that belief of we will win. That was a great teaching and has been a great teaching for me, that it's so important to believe that yes, we can. And as we look at where the world is today, it's important for us to hold a belief that we can be part of an evolution of the worlds, that it is possible to create and co-create a kinder, more gentle, more loving, more inclusive world, where we come from our hearts rather than being stuck in our heads. So it's important to create a clear vision of where we are going. And of course, we take action by placing our prayers on this vision. And of course, it's important to ignite it. Because prayer, if it's a rote fashion, it goes nowhere. It takes the feeling, the passion, the belief, the love. And when we ignite it with our heart fire, that's when the magic happens. And as I have connected with prayer, because it's an important aspect of my life. I've lit many prayer fires over the years, going through all of the night, singing the prayers into the worlds. One of the things that I know that supports this work is to bring that prayer into the present moment. You see, when I was a kid, I was taught to pray for things. And so I would. And that's wonderful. However, there's a slight shift that makes all of the difference. When we pray for something, it's putting that prayer over there. We're praying for it to come to fruition. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we're praying for it to come into manifestation. What if we took out the word for and we used the word on? You see, when I'm praying on something, it's right here, right now, and that allows the universe to create the magic to bring it into manifestation, because we're holding space on it, not for it. You see how language is very, very tricky. And we've created patterns where we have prayed for things when we could be praying on them. Let's take a look at how this sounds. Here are some prayers that I have tweaked. I pray for receiving to bring my highest gifts to the world. Or, I am thankful and blessed that I am fully supported as I share my highest gifts in the world. I plead with you. I beg that you hear my prayer. I pray for the healing of, or I thank you on hearing and answering my prayer. I pray on the healing of, Or we could even say, I am thankful on the healing that now infuses my bodies with vibrant love and well-being on my highest good. Another example. I pray for things getting better because I've had some really dreadful things happen to me lately. I don't enjoy my work and I want things to be better in my life, and I would love to have a job that I enjoy doing. We could reframe it in this way. I pray on celebrating being in service through my work in the world. And as I love the job I am in, I am open to release this job and embrace one that aligns with my gifts and talents. I am thankful on an abundance of joy in my life through being in service in my work. On May the 6th and 7th, 2020, we meet the May full moon. It's the moon in the Celtic tradition that signifies coming into the light half of the year. And I'm going to light a 13-hour transformational fire. And I'd love you to be part of it. Please send personal and planetary prayers into me at asteed@andrewsteed.com. Your prayers will be kept confidential, and I will whisper them into the flames 3 times during this 13-hour celebration. If you would like to know more about being part of this journey with me, connect with me, because I will be offering an opportunity for you to join me via Zoom. I look forward to this beautiful work as we stand shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart in the evolution of the worlds.